Okay, I'm recording this video after close of trade Wednesday, 18th of August 2010, and that's more like it. We've had a couple of days, 2-3 days of really good trading after some kind of slow activity on Thursday and Friday of last week. You can see this is a daily chart of the Emini that we closed at 1086 today. It was down only about 2 3/4 points, but decent range and decent volume. It had about a 15-point range, and then the volume was about 1.6 million contracts traded. Very similar day to yesterday, actually, and I'm going to show you my 1500 tip bar chart with an almost identical signal at the top on both yesterday and today. And the high of today was identical to the high of day of yesterday at just below 1100. And on the daily time frame, we've had our cyclical low print on the better sine wave indicator. So this printed after the strength we had yesterday. And I said on the better sine wave that we weren't going to see a confirmed low until we've got an end of trend warning signal on the 45-minute chart. So let me just show you that. This is 45-minute chart. We've had this strength over the last couple of days. Cyclical turn just below the 1100 level. I think we were 98.50. The highs for both of these days with kind of this double top, and then we're coming up to a cyclical low that'll print sometime tomorrow morning. So that'll be our end of trend warning signal on this time frame, and so that's what I like to see, the cyclical turn on the daily time frame. Let me just show you that. So this is the cyclical turn on the daily time frame, kind of coinciding with an end of trend on the lowest time frame corresponding to that. So that'll be a 45-minute chart. And I think we're going to see some strength. My thesis is that we're going to get weakness the first half of tomorrow morning, and then some strength come into the market sometime kind of late morning or so on, and then see continuation of this uptrend of rally. So that's kind of what I'm playing with at the moment. I'll show you my charts and show you why I'm thinking that. Just to show you the 135-minute chart here again, printed a pullback and a downtrend on this time frame. So we'd like to see an end of trend warning signal kind of print on this time frame, but I'm not wedded to that. And then this is the weekly chart, which I've been going on about, saying we've got this cyclical turn in the offing. I mean, it's somewhere happening in the future in the next 2 or 3 weeks, and it wouldn't be unusual for us to kind of retest back above the 1110 kind of levels, get everybody kind of freaked out that we're going into an uptrend, and then the markets reverse just as we hit this kind of cyclical turn and end of trend kind of warning signal on this time frame. So wondering if that just might be a scenario kind of going forward. Just on the longer time frame tip bar chart, the 40,500 tip bar chart, you can see what happened. Very interesting trading the last couple of days with the signals on better momentum here. We've had exhaustion buying at the highs on Tuesday. You can see all this professional activity, the blue bars up at the highs here, and then we kind of had exhaustion selling on the downside at the beginning of today. But in terms of price destruction, I mean, we didn't get very much, and we actually bounced off this cyclical resistance level, which has become support now on this time frame. And then we had again another kind of huge uplift in buying activity with an exhaustion buying signal at the high of today at that 98 level, again with the professional bar kind of up at those highs there, and we've kind of fallen off, and we're coming up to a cyclical turn on this time frame. We're also very close to this resistance level, which will could become support kind of going forward. So the question is what I'm looking for is this cyclical turn to be made sometime during the morning tomorrow, and will the this type level around the 85 type level kind of hold going forward, and start with the signal for the start of another uptrend. So playing around with that as a view as to what might happen going forward. Just looking at some other correlated markets just to show you what I'm seeing there. So this is the crude market again, highest time frame that I'll look at here. We've had our end of trend warning signal here. Great little, well, it's not a perfect signal, but a good little signal here on the pullback. All this professional bars, bearish divergence. That's kind of a trifecta for me. That's a cyclical turn. It happens to be a pullback and a downtrend. We've got a bearish divergence and our professional bars here, and we came to these lows. We had a pretty fast sell-off into an end of trend warning signal here. The thing that's got me kind of confused here is that there are no professional bars down here at the lows on crude. We saw the professional activity coming down here into 75 level, getting active at these lows and kind of buying, using that as a buying opportunity, and then we had the professionals kind of getting out above 76, coming into 77, but they've not kind of stepped back in here, although we've formed a cyclical turn. And this does look like a little bit of a flush trade. Here's our exhaustion selling on the downside, all our bullish divergence patterns that we kind of put in, and then kind of extreme selling that we saw early on today. but no professional bars, so a little bit of a concern there. The euro coming into, again, another cyclical turn on the downside. We kind of pushed through the pullback level, all of these bearish divergence signals here, and we've kind of cracked down quite hard into the 27 level. So at 127, is that going to hold kind of, and that we're going to see, we had our beautiful Rambo patterns here right at the bottom here with these amateur bars here. That looked like a little bit of a flush signal here with more selling than we'd seen on the bullish divergence signals, but less than on the exhaustion signal here. We're kind of coming down to selling some, but not a, although the price destruction looks quite severe in terms of the volume activity at the moment. It's not severe, so potentially some kind of cyclical bottom being put in there on the euro during tomorrow. Bonds continue to rally quite strongly, but on Monday we had all this exhaustion buying here, professional bars, profit taking, stopping volume, and a Rambo pattern there right at the highs there, with pushing to new highs, being led by the amateurs there. Coming to this double top here, bearish divergence here, and professionals kind of act at those highs. So although we've not got the next level down will be a pullback on this time frame in an uptrend, but it could be signaling that we've got some weakness coming into the bond market. I mean, the explosive activity that we've had over the last 3 weeks, so they could just be running out of steam a little bit, and so there might be a bit more of a move to the equities. And then here's copper. Copper, always said, tends to be leading the market by a couple of days, and we had last 2 or 3 videos ago I talked about the interesting pattern on copper that we had in this highest time frame on this retracement. All of the other markets that we see broke into a downtrend, and then we've been looking for pullbacks and end of trend warning signals on a downtrend. The pattern that we saw here with this stair-stepping motion hitting these cyclical highs and lows here, this is a complex correction. On the way down, it's kind of finding it hard to kind of fight to new lows. It's not broken into a downtrend. We've just been stepping down in terms of these kind of cyclical lows and highs being printed. And you usually see 2 or 3, 4 in this case, on the way down. And then we had our exhaustion selling at this low with a Rambo pattern right at the bottom there. And then coming into that retest of those lows, all of those professional bars, the professionals came in once here, came in twice here. Bullish divergence, the amount of selling that was going on, very weak. The better momentum signals are all happening around the 0 level here. And then what was interesting was the explosive activity that we had on this bar here with this exhaustion buying signal. Now, when you see exhaustion buying here at the beginning of a move, this signals that's the kind of the jet engine fuel that gets us going into an uptrend here. And then we broke above cyclical resistance into an uptrend. We had a pullback level and so on. Now, my hypothesis here is this moves will continue until we get a similar type of exhaustion buying activity at the end of this trend move. So this move's kind of broken into an uptrend, and this was the fuel that kind of got it going, where we see one of these at the beginning of a move here. That's kind of a classic move. So if copper's showing the way, potentially we've got a low happening in crude. We've got the euro again potentially looking for a low mid tomorrow morning, and then the bonds kind of running out of steam. That could suggest that this trade on the E-mini, that we actually might be seeing a low being made here, and some kind of uptrend kind of continuing. Don't see why, frankly. I think all the the economic news and so on is just pointing to worsening situation that we have just overall, but the markets don't necessarily follow kind of fundamentals or news stories. And then just to show you what was happening on the lower time frame charts on my daily day trading charts on the E-minis. This was today's activity on the 4500 tip bar chart. Beginning of the day, sold off hard, all these professional blue bars coming into this end of trend warning signal here. Exhaustion selling on this time frame here, and that was a low being put in here. Nice profit taking pattern. Market takes off to the upside, and there's the exhaustion buying that we had on the upside again, with bearish divergence happening here and all the professionals kind of selling into this nice little pullback level, end of trend warning signal, second cyclical turn after an end of trend warning signal. You can see this down bar here is an amateur down bar coming into that cyclical low. The amount of selling that we've got is extremely weak, and we form a bullish divergence pattern here right at this low, leading into that really nice move. It was 10 plus move to the upside here. Then I look down at the 1500 tip bar chart. Just again, beginning of the day, what happened during the day, and the high of the day was kind of marked nicely by this activity and end of trend warning signal at the highs. So coming into those highs at 98, we had all these professional blue bars, exhaustion buying, bearish divergence at this point. You can see here